Hello everyone, it is me, Butterfly Spirit, aka Michelle. So today guys, I'm going to be talking about day one of my third eye opening exercise. Alright, so guys, basically, um, what happened with day one was that at nighttime, what I was supposed to do is that I was supposed to have an ego death. And I did go through an ego death successfully. To do the ego death, I used Ryan Crapper's ego death video that is posted on YouTube where he takes you through a guided meditation. And from the progressing through the video, you eventually have an ego death. Through going through the instructions he gives you and stuff like that in the meditation. So, I did have my ego death, and I was supposed to have my ego death before I went to sleep on day one. So I did. My feelings after my ego death was that I was basically a clean slate. My ego was not in front of me. Um, and, I wasn't in, the state where I would, instantly, make snap judgments about something or be overwhelmed with thinking about, household stuff like bills or, any worries or whatever. I was just basically a clean blank slate and stuff like that. Um, Basically, for the first 5 minutes after the meditation and going forward. So I was basically kind of on, a calm state and stuff like that or whatever. And, I was just kind of just easy going. Um, Now, I want to explain something. To me personally, I have two egos. I have one ego, which is the part of me that's, far more impulsive, meaning that, I will basically, um, if somebody pushes me, I will get to like the bad side of my ego, meaning that, I will gossip, I will be um, willing to yell at you. Um, and, or what some people just say, hey, have an attitude and stuff like that. And, I will basically be in the ego where I'm in the feeling of having to, always put up this, part of myself where, I'm not going to let somebody try to get over on me and stuff type thing, So yeah, I put on, my tough girl, ego because I'm not going to let somebody walk over me. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this when, you were growing up, but growing up, sorry. That basically, when it comes to nice people, you have people who walk on their ass like it's grass in a sense or whatever because they feel like nice people are idiots. They feel like they can get over on nice people and, nice people, you could do anything to them and they will never fight back. They'll always turn the other cheek and stuff like that. They won't react back to you or say, hey, don't do that or don't say that to me type of thing. And when I was growing up, that was built in, I guess that's where it created another ego, is that I saw a lot of people who were nice, even friends of mine, family members of mine. I saw that when people were nice, people abused them, you know, um, physically, mentally, and emotionally. So, as a little girl, I built this alter ego where, I wouldn't take any shit type thing, that tough girl ego and stuff like that. So, that nobody would try to do that to me. Now, the core, I have my other ego, which is nice, which is easygoing and, wants the best for people and stuff like that. And, it's very nice and gentle and stuff like that or whatever, at the core of who I am. But, as a little girl, I had to build an alter ego where, I wouldn't take any shit. And when that ego steps into place, people, they back off of me because they're not going to try to, do anything, towards me and stuff. Um, and like through my speech right now, when I say things like people are not gonna, get over on me or do stuff or, try to, abuse me or whatever type of thing, that's my other ego, talking to you, that's coming through and saying, I'm not gonna have anybody mess with me, type thing, And, as a little girl, I did not like seeing that, which is why, I have this alter ego, of, I would call, I would say she is more of a bad ego because, not that she's bad, but she's just my defense mechanism, And, I find myself, you know, being in that ego a lot if I'm around people who are, mean, rude, nasty, or whatever, and they're totally insensitive, then I instantly switch to her as an ego and stuff like that. And I'm able to do what I gotta do, say what I gotta say, so people know that they're not gonna walk over on me, So this ego, you kind of see she's speaking through. The nice ego, my nice ego, I'm my nice ego. Like right now, I'm like my nice ego, So like right now, I switched egos. So my nice ego, and I'm smiling and stuff, so you can see the nice ego is coming through. The nice ego is the one that's easygoing. The nice ego is the person that I am when I'm by myself, and when I can feel I can be myself. Because when it comes to my alter ego, the defense mechanism, the one I call like my bad ego, you know, she is basically, in place and protecting the nice ego. And the bad ego is protecting the nice ego, because the bad ego is not going to let anybody get through and try to mess with, the core of the nice ego that I have, so I have two separate egos, I'm sure you guys, if you've ever watched cartoons, you've, like the old cartoons, like Disney cartoons or whatever, or maybe you've even seen Family Guy, where you have the two, the basically the two egos that sit on your shoulders. You have, the angelic ego and you have the devil ego, right? Those are basically representations of your ego that exists and stuff like that. Now, not that I have, my ego is sitting on my shoulders like they do in the cartoons or whatever, like the old ones, or even, like Family Guy, where they had those types of things, where you're on Family Guy, I think it's like Peter has like the angelic him and then, the devilish him, type thing. But I guess the truth is that the egos do look like you. How do I know? Because I had a dream. Um, it was last year. I had a dream. I can't remember what month, but I had a dream where I was outside next to my car, and standing in front of my apartment building was my alter ego, the bad ego. And the bad ego, she was a lot taller and like bigger to me than, than the part of me that was standing next to the car. The part of me standing next to the car was my nice ego. The ego that was in front of my apartment building, blocking the door, was my bad ego, And so, I found myself in that dream. I was fighting against my bad ego. I was in the form of the nice ego fighting bad ego. But my bad ego, basically, fighting against her, she was basically beating my ass type shit, with like the attack she had and everything else. And as the small nice ego, I really was not able to win against her. But, waking up from that dream, it really gave me a revelation about how big I let my bad ego get, and how much power I've given to her, you know, because of, growing up and, what my experiences have been like. And so, after that dream, what I had to do was, and I think this was during the time I was working on opening my third eye, in the early part of this year was, I had to have an ego death. Um, I had to basically put a stop to my bad ego, having as much power as she did, because really there were two sides of me. And I think that, my bad ego, she needed to come down to the same level as that of my good ego and stuff. After I had an ego death, and it was using Brian Cropper's video or whatever, where he has like the guided meditation to help you have an ego death. I did not have a dream about my bad ego, um, fighting me anymore. She was put in the back seat, and I have not had her bother me about anything. Now, she will come up, when she needs to protect the nice ego and stuff like that and stuff. And she will retreat back to, when it is time for her to not be present type thing or whatever. But yeah, she does protect the nice ego. But yeah, guys, and I realized I'm still on day one of my third eye opening exercise. But what I really just was trying to say, and I'm trying to get myself back to what I was saying, is that, guys, when it comes to, I don't lost my train of thought. Oh my god.